Hey, this is Spencer Froh, and welcome to our new show, brought to you by the Producer's Edge and Launch Global. We are a passionate collective of producers, artists, and educators who are out to entertain you, celebrate art and diversity, and go behind the scenes to demystify the creative process. Every other week, we bring you the dopest original content and delve deep into the genius minds of its creators. Today, we got our own Dana J interviewing Connor Smith, owner of the hugely successful Studio 18. Then Mia X and her poetry of protest against the injustices Black people must face in this country every day. And finally, some Nintendo 8-bit nostalgia. Now get ready for
Dana J.
Dana J with the Producer's Edge. I am here in Studio 18 in Winter Park, Florida. I'm here with my best friend and brother, Connor Smith. What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
This space that we're in now here in Winter Park, I always consider it a living, breathing thing, this building that we're in, you know? It feels the vibes and the energy, and it feels even like intent and purpose with every artist. We've had hundreds, if not thousands of artists come through and work on their craft, and this building resonates with the variety of people that have come in. We've had some heavy hitters in here.
Absolutely.
A lot of folks that graduated from Full Sail or First Institute, a lot of folks that are just figuring it out, but we've had some folks, let's flex for a little bit. And I know that this all happened because I was here for it. Daddy Yankee has been through here. Bad Bunny has been through here. Ayo, the producer, you might know him from Hold Up. Anytime you hear that on a record, which you hear it a bunch, that's Ayo.
In fact, a lot of those records were produced out of here for a whole year's stint straight.
Mm-hmm. We've had some heavy hitters. Joey Badass has been through here. Riff Raff has been through here. Otis Bruno, who's starting to get a little buzz. You know him all the way back from
the basement, yeah.
Yeah, man. So there's been some real work that's been done
Tony
here.
Cook, James Brown's original drummer.
Oh, man. Michael Winslow.
Wow.
The man of 10,000 voices. You know?
And then how about who has a residency right here? We have Keith Andes in the building. He's like a mentor and friend of ours. He's worked with Deborah Cox, Jackson 5, Boyz II Men.
Nutty Professor soundtrack.
That's right.
Was that Natasha Bedingfield? Feel the rain on your skin.
And we've got some very exciting things about to happen too.
Yeah.
By the time this comes out,
yeah.
Space Jam 2 might have been produced in here.
You know, maybe.
We'll fact check it after.
Right. Who knows? So I met this guy at Montclair High School in Montclair, New Jersey, in the West African Drum Club. I only knew of him to be a hockey player. That's all I knew about him, was that he played hockey. So when I saw this very white man in the African Drum Club, I was intrigued. We ended up getting a connection. We learned that we both are really into hip hop. That led to us working on music together, working out of Cubase, I believe, in your mom's basement, cutting up records and really having a passion for creation of music, the production. This guy used to be a member in a band, and he used to rap and all of these things. And he was always talking about building a studio that could be a great space to work with ultimately friends and people that wanted to, you know, really pursue their music career. I think that that's part of what propelled you to go to Full Sail University down here. But I got a call in 2011 from my brother Connor here, indicating that, you know, he's building and has worked toward making this studio happen that he envisioned when we were in high school, and he asked for my help. So I hopped on the next thing down here, and that was 9 years ago now. Jeez, at the first studio. You were there for about 3-4 years, and now you've been in this building going on 7. Tell me a little bit about wanting to start the studio, getting the pieces together to really make that dream into a reality. Tell me a little bit about that, brother.
For sure, man. When I was 12, I found a friend gave me a Tupac album. But when I really listened to that Pac album, I fell in love with the musicality of it. The beats really resonated with me, but then also just like, I never thought that music could be so revolutionary, you know? That opened my mind up to it has a purpose beyond entertainment value.
Right.
And hip hop, especially the era that I listened to, came from such a place of, you know, of pain and reflection of society. So it's so enlightening to me. So I fell in love with it. At 14 years old, I saved up and I got a beat machine. It was a Roland MV8000. I probably should have went with the NP, but I saw that RZA was rocking the Roland joint. So I'm like, oh, this is the new thing.
Right.
I thought that was a whole studio in a box. I'm trying to record, there's 8 tracks and all you see is just a block. There's not even like a WAV file.
Right.
And I'm thinking I'm like an expert on the thing. I got people coming to me going like, oh, this kid knows what he's doing. And then I learn about Pro Tools, and before you know it, I build the studio out a little bit more. I build a vocal booth in my mom's basement, and I go to Cubase, and I'm starting to record some people. I'm starting to kind of produce some stuff, and that was the beginning. I read an article in the local paper about a guy named Greg Calby. Greg Calby is the father of a guy in your grade,
Marlon Calby.
Marlon, who was the quarterback. Now it's what I knew the name from, but Greg's a famous master engineer. He's mastered Bob Dylan records, Bruce Springsteen records, some Beatles records. There's 10,000. He's one of the greatest master engineers in the world. I knocked on his door. He said, oh, you're interested in what I do? Come in the city and check it out. And that's when I walked into the spaceship of Sterling Sound and was like, oh my gosh.
And this is in high school still.
This is in high school, and I'm just infatuated with the equipment, the process. I love the science of music too, and I love to talk about that. And so the engineering of it all really intrigued me. I'm like, I can be like an engineer and an artist. This is really fascinating. This is like fulfilling the two sides of my brain that need that fulfillment. And I decided I would pursue this as a career.
Lotus, please. Am I in frame?
18, the number, is very important to you, and it represents a lot. So much so that you incorporated it into the name of this business. So what does 18 mean to you? And then how does that translate into Studio 18?
What it means is the line, the one, it's yes or no. It's binarily correct. It's the left side of the brain. It's not right or wrong. It's objectively correct. It's the science. It's the fastest from point A to point B is a straight line. When I was in high school and I was in and out of being mentored by Greg Calby and Sterling Sound, I almost felt like sometimes I walked into a lab. And there's so much science of what's going on to make music and the clarity come to life. It sometimes feels like a calculation, but that's one of the reasons this stuff comes out so good. Well, simultaneously, outside of our basement floor, there was other basement floors that I was in and out of helping, some local punk bands record stuff. Now, we had the microphones backwards. We didn't even know what we were doing. The floors were made of dirt.
Right. But
there was so much energy in that room. And there was an infinite amount of unquantifiable energy, right? And to me, that's the 8. That's the figure 8, which is the right side of the brain. And to make a great music product, it takes fostering and allowing for that infinite amount of creativity to happen, but then refine it with the science to make sure the sound is crystal clear. And that's the 1 and the 8. And I think that applies now beyond music, and so much that I and we stand for around here. There's moments in life where you're going to take on more of an 8 or take on more of a 1. You're going to meet people who are a little more creative, and you're going to meet people who are a little bit more critical thinking. And that's what makes the world go round. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. I think what makes great results is when you can find people and teams and situations that get a great blend of the 1 and the 8.
All right. For as long as I can remember, for folks that have known us in our space, not even just from high school, but the work we've done here, you've been the 8 more often than not, and I've been the 1.
In our relationship.
And it's specific with us, and then just as a whole, like, you've always had amazing dreams and visions of all of these different things to go beyond the studio, and we've had a whole bunch of different phases, different ideas.
And you're like, cool, but we need to pay the water bill first.
I'm that one that keeps it regulated, I'm all about shooting for the stars, but it's like, hey man, we got bills and we got, it's that structure. And I think that we've found a way, you and I have managed to find a balance in that 1 and the 8, and it definitely translates to everything that's been happening here. For sure. And I'm super thankful for that.
And I think there's situations where you in other scenarios play the 8 and someone else plays the 1. And that's the cool thing about the 1 and the 8. You're not confined to being a 1 or 8 person, but in certain scenarios, you take on kind of one or the other.
For sure. There's definitely been instances where I've been on a creative kick and you've had to ground me.
Sure. Less times than often where I'm the 1 in our relationship, but it happens.
Right.
Yeah. this space specifically, I come from a little bit of an interior design background, from my mother's side. And I knew it's kind of like a if you build it, they will come mentality. I knew if I could build a really beautiful, creatively inspired space that's practical too, right? Like I studied the layouts of yachts because they're so efficient with the space they use and everywhere you put something.
Right. It's contact, but it's with intent.
Everything is with intent. So when we do a room, we move the couch 3 inches and talk about it though for 20 minutes and why it should be there.
Right.
And
there's a method behind the madness.
There's a method behind the madness. And I think that helped us build a functional space in a small house. We took that same concept here, and now we have this space that is just so art inspired.
Right. Even like these diffusers right here, Connor helped build these things.
Yeah, this was like a collaborative art project. Exactly.
Yeah,
it's all it's the 1 in the 8, right? This is a living proof of the 1 in the 8. But yeah, I think partnering with artists to make a really beautiful space helped give me leverage to invite talent, because the second people see this place, they're inspired right away. They go, wow, the vibe. And I knew that if the place could speak for itself, that was step one.
So make sure to check them out, their website, and check us out, studio18fl.com on Instagram, at studio18fl on all the platforms. Studio 18 in Orlando, Florida. Connor Smith, owner, founder, great guy, music head. I'm Dana J with Producer's Edge. This is what I got going on these days.
Co-founder.
Peace.
The poem that I wrote about George Floyd or for George Floyd was inspired by the lack of love and attention and concern for his life that was displayed in the video. I have a problem with the way the police handled him and the way the police in general handle us. And in some instances, the way we handle each other. I think the way they just had no respect or regard for his life, and he was saying out his mouth that he could not breathe, and there was no type of acknowledgement. Like, that hurt, and I really felt like they treated him as if he did not have a mother that loved him, or a daughter that loved him, or anybody who loved him. And that's the thing about these cops and these police and these other systems or whatever. It's like, we have people. We have love. We matter to each other. You know, you look at us and see something else that we didn't subscribe to that shit. That's not how we see ourselves. We are all that list of things that I wrote about. The trying, the triumph, the pushing, the crying, the hurting, the laughing, the love. Like, we are all of that. That is what our life is. You know? And I needed to say that. I just needed to get that out. Remembrances, beliefs, changes, peace, causes, freedom pauses, streets, endurance, fights, seeing, rights, reasons, clinging, seasons, sense, forces, pain, money, men, stillness, rain, paying, gains, lives, living, reality, killing, hearts, breaks, history, oppression, hate, destruction, depression, gates, dogs, biting, hoses, anguish, people, protest, destruction, rebuild, change, heal, nothing, struggle, choice, knowing, seed, light, loving, growing, listening, ears, voice, children, years, elders, nakedness, lovers, 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 masks, fear, colors, changes, faces, tears, eyes, blindness, battles, fondness, beginnings, endings, wars, friends, inventions, givers, takers, thinkers, thoughts, knowing, cause, experience, sound, music, openings within evolution. Blue people give people flavor, principles, values, sense, power, excellence, deliverers, men, privates, wind blowing, bodies glowing, hotties, bussing, shotties, gushing, hoods, past, pressure, cast, cracks, dust crumbling, decisions, deals, ideas, feels, acceptance, bread, feeding, dead bodies, breathing, golden breaths, mamas, aunties, uncles, cookouts, blessed, bullshit, teeth, trees, stress, steps, fucks, poems, utility, death, we are come, love, words, flesh, blood, souls, fire, necks, knees, breath, fists, gold, daggers, breath, slime, alleys, hold minds, forget tongues, exist, cold, mass, understanding, sass, water, new, saliva, glue, swallow, throat, sip, heart, murmur, stomach, hope, pushing, healing, dancing, grace, eyes, people, power, space, imagination, faith, muscles, shapes, challenges, meaning, glitter, gleam in hands, world, sentences, chances, choices, expectations, glory, beauty, knowledge, being, stories, born, birth, horn, sight, God, vision, pride, father, eye, justice, cry, kings, dreams, ciphers, wings, savior, truth, life, youth, victory, night, heaven, light, people, feeling vibes, healing, daughters, sons, innocence, guns, gums, poems, songs, lungs, wise, layers, dripping, splatter, dipping, speed, seed, smudge, fight, grudge, height, frames, mirrors, bleed, families, healers, bridges, hugs, lips, drugs, hopes, screams, terrors, spleens, bones, hips, unity, tips, culture, art, promises, burdens, questions, balance, yearning, felons, votes, hurt, pushing, curse, feet stand, purpose, land, life, us, we, trust, hugs, blocks, sky, moon, sheep, lie, plants, ways, warmth, praise, connection, sparks, corners, darts, possess, groups, villages, troops, mornings, thanks, shadows, paint, ropes, chains, release, discovery, clouds, ripples, rooms, wombs, blood, orange, grape, lemon, hate, bitter fruit, trigger proof, bigger pulling, depth niggas, crust leaders, thrust survival, hush puppies, greens, yams, seams, knuckles, virtue, warriors, books, flights, owners, pictures, gathering, differences, distances, generations, connections, brains floating, nightmares, hoping, coping, sharing, exchanges, freedom, revelation, education, spirits, dawns, clouds, lightning, noise, frequency, jazz, mornings, make it up, feel your way, brilliance, feel it, escape, vomit, build it, exist, grow, shine, heal it, matter, inhales, exhales, inhales, exhales, inhales, exhales. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And power to the people. The first time I performed or read the poem was at the Poets Protest at the Soundstage with Justice and the Poets Anonymous on Clinton Avenue in Newark, New Jersey. Reasons. Black. Clinging. Black. Seasons. Black. It was emotional. And I feel like that's what it feels like to feel a life. You know, like to feel the spirit of a life. And that's what I try to capture. And it was just like, damn, like, oh my God, like my brother, like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We can't just die like that. You know what I'm saying? If we must die, that's like Claude McKay. If we must die, let it not be like that. It's like we can't just die without nobody, with no word. Especially if I have a voice, I have these words, I have this imagination, I have this feeling, I have this heart. I'm sorry. I have this, and I'm not gonna say anything that, you know, it was like a charge on me. I felt like I had to write something. I had to deliver it in a way that would be more than just a poem. But we have to find ways to honor our lives while we're here. And that's what I get from that. But at that moment, I was so thankful for it, because like they hugged me after. Starsky came right over and hugged me. I can't remember who else was there. I think it might have been Justice right there that came over and hugged me right after and just like built me back up again. Because I was just like, whew. But I felt that it was good art because it was touching me. You know what I mean? It was touching me. And then, like, if it didn't touch me, then it wouldn't touch other people. You know, and because I knew it, I felt it, I was just like, I was releasing it, and it just in the hopes that, you know, strong. That's really what it is. It's resistance. It's Black power. Power to the people with no delay.
Welcome to Producer's Edge. My name is Spencer Fro. Below me is Gonzalo Silva. To my left or right is Dana J.
What up, what up?
We are producers. And
Live on the edge.
live on the edge. Exactly. Nintendo Sampling Workshop. 8-bit, old school Nintendo. Dana J was the leader. What about the Nintendo stuff, the sounds, like inspired you, Dana J, to run that workshop?
I think I looked at it a couple different ways. I thought of it as a challenge for me because of my realm being comfortable and familiar in a different space. And then also, you know, I was inspired from it, from the sounds that you'd hear. It's almost like a little symphony of little chips and chirps and bleeps and bloops. So learning about the culture of 8-bit music and chiptune, and how that's a whole thing.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, and Gonzalo found Mario soundboard. So we got... you were playing it throughout the workshop too.
Yes.
Just in the background, just out of nowhere, we would hear Mario say some crazy stuff. Another thing is, I made this video I'm about to show you guys. Basically, all the last levels from all these different old school games, put them all next to each other, and I chopped it up so along with the workshop. So you see the workshop, the progress of creating the song, and the progress of the characters as they go through the levels. And it's pretty fun. So let's check it out.
Oh, yeah. Blades of Steel. Blades of Steel. Game over.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that was a great show. I didn't sleep doing all that editing to put all that little pieces together, but it was worth it. And yeah, I can't wait for the next one, man. We got some cool stuff planned, some amazing interviews with some amazing people. And stay tuned, follow us on all the social medias, and we'll see you next time.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.